who rarely drink, the ones who were sitting on the fence, these were the targets, right? Not me, not the firm no, but the people with what I would say wobbly boundaries, right? They were the ones being nudged, prodded, guilted, and it wasn't once, it was quite persistent. It didn't stop until the people were like, yeah, okay, just give me one, right? And that tells us something really powerful, I think, anyway. And it's one of the keys to becoming alcohol-free as fuck.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Come on, just have one. That line has derailed more alcohol-free commitments than the smell of fresh gin in a sweating glass. And the worst part, it often comes from someone you like, even maybe love. But here's the truth. When someone is pressurizing you to drink, they're not just offering you a drink, they are revealing your work. Today on the 1000 Days Sober podcast, we are answering one of the biggest questions in the alcohol-free space. What on earth do you say when a friend pressures you to just have one? And more importantly, how do you respond without losing yourself? Hello everybody, my name is Davy. I am not an alcoholic and I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every waking moment of that life helping other people do the same, like right now, baby. Recently, I was at a work function, surrounded by beautiful cigars, rare whiskies, expensive wine, status symbols, basically. You could split the room into three different categories of people. People who drink, people who rarely drink, and just me, the one person in the room who doesn't drink at all. Now, the people steeped in the liquid life, the ones who really believe that alcohol has value and holds greater meaning, these people were really eager to show off their collection of fine wines, expensive whiskeys, etc., right? Not just offering drinks, but kind of like showing them off like they were art. And there was even a moment when someone said to me, Lee, it's such a shame that you don't drink. Like, how can you respond to that? I just had a laugh in my head, right? Like, yeah, why would I want to? Why is it a shame that I can't drink poison and pretend that it's connection? Obviously, I didn't say that aloud, right? Now, here's what's fascinating. The people who rarely drink, the ones who were sitting on a fence, these were the targets, right? Not me, not the firm no, but the people with what I would say wobbly boundaries, right? They were the ones being nudged, prodded, guilted, and it wasn't once, it was quite persistent. It didn't stop until the people were like, yeah, okay, just give me one, right? And that tells us something really powerful, I think, anyway. And it's one of the keys to becoming alcohol free as fuck. I don't think people push when there is a clear boundary. I think they push when there's space. It's the same with bullies, right? So the real question isn't how am I going to get them to stop? It's why does it bother me when they ask? And this is where we have to turn inward and ask ourselves, when someone pressures me to drink alcohol, do I feel unsafe? Do I fear losing their approval? Do I feel out of control? Because these are core drivers in the Strive method: security, approval, and control. And if any of those are rattled, it's not about the drink, it's about what the drink represents. Most people, when it comes to being alcohol free as fuck, they don't have that identity locked in. Like for me, right? Like I am someone who doesn't drink alcohol. That is embedded in my identity, is who I am. It is locked in. But a lot of people, they don't have it locked in. They go to a party and they think, I hope to fuck nobody asks me to drink or why I'm not drinking. And when they do that, they're already in past energy, preparing to compromise to stay safe. And that is really dangerous because I believe that creates space. And I believe that the bullies who drink alcohol, who want you to be complicit with them, they sniff that out. It's almost like a weakness to them, right? So it's not the pressure, it's the performance. Pretending you're okay, saying yes when your body is screaming, no. Right, let's take a little break. While we're doing that, ask yourself, what is harder, saying no to a drink or saying no to disappointing someone? Because if it's the latter, You're not navigating an alcohol problem, you're navigating an identity problem. Welcome back to the 1000 Days Sober podcast. Before the break, we were exploring how external pressure is really an invitation to examine our internal cracks. So here's the real work. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a striver, there is work. But it's good work, it's strong work, it's solid work, and it is exciting work. When someone is pressurizing you to drink, you have 3 responsibilities. Number 1, you have to strengthen your identity. I don't drink. Make it not a preference, but a truth. Because if you treat it like a diet, people will test it, especially the bullies. If you live it like a boundary, people will respect it, even the bullies. Number 2, ask yourself, why is it bothering me that this person keeps nagging me to drink alcohol? Do I want their approval? Am I fearing disconnection? Do I need to control how they perceive me, who I am, my decision? If any of those answers are yes, that is your work. And you should be turning around and thanking them, right? You're not being triggered by this person. You're being triggered by a part that doesn't feel safe without their love. And that part is crying out for your attention. And now you know it, so now you can do something about it. Number 3, set a boundary. Okay, I had no fucking clue what a boundary was until I was in my 40s. So don't worry about it if you don't either, right? Set a boundary, not in anger, not in shame, but with clarity and grace. Here is an example to help you with this, right? Imagine somebody has asked you to drink, or they keep asking you to drink. I would find a time when you feel like you and them are in good state, good energy, and then say this. Hey, I know you mean well, but when you offer me a drink, it makes me feel anxious. I've chosen not to drink anymore, and I would really love your support with that because our friendship means the world to me. And the best way for you to show up for me is don't offer me a drink. Don't joke and just trust me. Is that okay? If you don't say anything, if you let it slide, then what you're doing is you're silently agreeing to the game. And if it truly bothers you, that agreement will chip away at your integrity every single time you're in the same spot. And nothing threatens self more than subtle self-betrayal. Now, sometimes when somebody is pressuring you to have a drink, it won't bother you. Maybe one of your mates says, if you really like me, you'd have a drink. I have somebody who occasionally I bump into and they say that to me, right? I know it's a joke. Okay, I see a part of this person trying to connect with me and they're using humor to do it. And I'm steady enough in myself to let it roll off my back, right? And if you are, do the same thing because we don't need to be going around correcting everybody, but you do need to know why you're letting it go. Okay. And if you keep getting bothered, if you keep feeling worn down, then maybe it's time to look at your friendship group. Don't cut people off out of spite, right? But have a look and just ask yourself, are these people really capable of honoring me? This is the beauty about this, right? Because if you set a boundary and you're vulnerable enough and brave and courageous enough to sit down and have a conversation, explain to them how you feel when they ask you to drink alcohol, you are actually sharing a window into your life, into your experience. You're letting them know how you feel. And if they are worth their weight in salt, if they are a good friend of yours, they will step up. And if they don't, they don't, right? So please have the courage to tell them who you are and what you need. And if they can't meet that, then you've got your answer about whether they're a friend or not, right? Today's daily vow. Today, I will not drink because I do not need anyone's permission to protect my peace. I don't need your approval. I don't need your understanding. I only need my own commitment, and I have fucking made it. When someone presses you to have just one, they're not just offering you a drink, they're giving you a mirror, and you have a choice. Use it to reflect your wounds or to reflect your worth. Reflections as you go about your day-to-day strivers. What is the hardest part about saying no to someone you care about? What parts of you say yes? What do these parts need? And have you ever set a boundary around alcohol that changed a friendship for better or for worse? Tell people, really important. You can find me on socials at Lee Davy Coaching, #Strive, or just reach out to me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com. Let's have this conversation, yeah? Okay. This is all I got time for today, ladies and gentlemen. You will hear from me again tomorrow, no doubt about that. Please rate and review the show. As always, word of mouth in this space is very, 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 very difficult. So I'm asking you, please, if you listen to this regularly, let one more person know about it. I really appreciate you. If you want to learn how to set really strong boundaries and how to give people really healthy feedback from self using forms of communication like nonviolent communication or the 5 secrets of effective communication by David Burns, a cognitive behavioral therapist, then join the Strive Method because we cover all that in our 6-month workshop. Okay, head to www.thestrivemethod.com and get involved. Until tomorrow, much love and strive on. And remember, you do not need to drink today. Honor your truth. Okay, you are someone who doesn't drink alcohol. You are someone who doesn't drink alcohol. You are someone who doesn't drink alcohol. Take care.